Welcome to MBCC, and thank you for your interest in the Mechanized Forest Equipment Operator Training Program. My name is Kyle O'Shea, and as manager in our Professional and Part-Time Learning Department, I am proud to lead the Mechanized Forest Equipment Operator Program. By choosing MBCC for your pre-employment operator training needs, you'll be exposed to highly qualified subject matter experts and instructors with years of operator and safety experience. The program format is a mix of theory, simulation, and practical training components. It is our goal to prepare students to leave the program and hit the ground running with the knowledge, tools, and skills needed to be successful in mechanized forest equipment operations industry. With valued industry partners like Forest NB and the Canadian Woodlands Forum, we are proud to work with their members and employers in the forest industry to provide qualified operators for their labor market needs. The program is 15 weeks in duration, and the training begins at MBCC Miramichi campus. Class from 4 to 12 students, and tuition is $15,950. Students spend the first 9 weeks on theory, simulation, and practical training at the campus before heading out to the field to begin the practical training on a block provided by a forestry company. Students will need to incur the additional costs for mandatory personal protective equipment required for the practical training. These items include CSA-approved steel-toed boots, hard hat, safety vest, and protective eyewear. Be mindful as well that a rain suit and appropriate outerwear, such as coveralls, may also be required for the work outside in the elements at the work site. The Mechanized Forest Equipment Operator Program is a certificate program. Upon completion, graduates will receive an MBCC certificate and can attend the official graduation ceremony in June. Additionally, students will receive a transcript of marks, operator wallet card, first aid certificate, transportation of dangerous goods wallet card, and WMIS safety wallet card. During the first 9 weeks, students will learn various competencies, starting with working safely on mechanized forest operation sites. Students will learn various sustainable forest initiatives, such as tree identification, introduction to GPS, and navigational systems and mapping. As well, students will gain knowledge with regard to best management practices with respect to harvest site locations, layout, buffer identification, product specifications, and quality, just to name a few. As mentioned, the training is a blend of theory and practical training, so maintenance will be incorporated into the training schedule. Equipment maintenance will include how to perform and document equipment inspections, fundamentals of engine and powertrain maintenance, crane and harvesting attachments, basic electrical, hydraulics, and bar and cutting maintenance. Students will also practice various exercises on the simulators with respect to mechanized forest equipment cutting techniques. This short clip is a screenshot from one of the simulation exercises used during the training. The simulators used in our program are Ponzi and John Deere brands. Both are excellent products and are very popular equipment brands in the mechanized forest equipment industry. The controls and exercises are very realistic, and they allow the students to gain the hand-eye coordination necessary to learn the controls before ever sitting in an actual machine. This type of simulation training reduces the amount of damage to the actual forest equipment by allowing students to gain the fundamental operating techniques in a simulated environment without causing damage through practice. The labor market need for mechanized forest equipment operators is currently very strong, and the outlook for the future remains robust. A rough forecast from industry associations and employers indicate the need for approximately 500 new operators over the next 5 to 10 years. Industry is currently in the process of working with apprenticeship to have mechanized forest equipment operator as a certifiable trade in New Brunswick. The estimated unemployment rate for this occupation is below average compared to other occupations in the province, and the average age for workers in this trade is estimated to be 42 years old. The national occupancy classification for mechanized forest equipment operator is 8241, and the starting wage for this occupation is approximately $18 to $20 per hour. Potential employers and industry champions include Forest NB, Canadian Woodlands Forum, Groupe Savoie, Marwood Limited, Fornebu Lumber, Twin Rivers Paper Company, Arbec Forest Products, Chaleur Lumber, J.D. Irving, Delco Forest Products, AV Group, Acadian Timber, Gauguin Lumber, H.J. Crabb & Sons, Alpha Equipment, and Brandt. This is just a sample of the possible employers that graduates may find work with. Before discussing the program outcomes, admission requirements, and application process, I would like to show a short video depicting an overview of the Mechanized Forest Equipment Operator Program here at MBCC Miramichi.
To be able to come into a course for only 15 weeks and then have a job opportunity sitting on your doorstep, I mean, it's awesome, especially where you're in New Brunswick. You're getting way more than minimum wage, and it just feels really good.
The demand for forestry operators is really high right now with everybody retiring clear across Canada, and especially in New Brunswick. You're looking at a starting wage of, in the 17, 18 range, and, up to 25, and, for experienced operators. So the course is 15 weeks long. It has a 7-week theory classroom segment to start with. Half of that is simulator time, and then we move to the field for 8 weeks. So during our classroom segment, we go through first aid, work safe, TDG, transportation of dangerous goods, SFI certification, environmental laws and regulations, proper wood utilization, and different harvest techniques. In the background, we have our Ponce Beaver. It's equipped with a Ponce H6 harvester head. It's the main machine in the operation. It cuts and processes the wood. We have a Rotney 9-ton forwarder that forwards the wood to roadside, and we have a 210 Hyundai excavator that does double duty. It can be outfitted with a Log Max harvester head or a bucket for road building.
Lots of hydraulics, lots of hand-eye coordination. You really need to keep your head on a swivel at all times. You're dealing with a lot of heavy loads, moving over rough terrain, sometimes working in very tight quarters within the woods. In the last 10 years in my military service, spent a lot of time outdoors. I found that I enjoyed being outside, enjoyed the fresh air, the wildlife, the nature. This gives me an opportunity to make that my entire job.
We've learned a lot in such a short time, and that's because our instructor's been so great. He's willing to put one-on-one time with you anytime you need it, anytime you ask for help. So to get into these machines and have that machine just do exactly what you want to do on foot, but with half of the labor and half of the stress, it just makes it a lot easier. So to be able to drop as many trees as we do in a day, it feels really good, because I would never be able to do that with a chainsaw.
The ultimate goal of the program is to provide students with the skills and knowledge required to find employment with a forestry contractor and to work safely and productively as part of their mechanized forest equipment operations team. Various program outcomes and learning competencies include operate harvester, forwarder, feller buncher, grapple skidder, delimber equipment on a work site, promote sustainable practices in tree harvesting operations, evaluate worksite areas and take action to handle potential hazardous situations, perform basic preventative maintenance and repairs on forestry heavy equipment, act in accordance with health and safety practices and procedures that address individual and group needs. Admission requirements are high school diploma or adult high school diploma, GED diploma, or high school equivalency. As additional information, it should be noted that the practical portion of the training may occur anywhere in the province, depending on where MBCC can retain a block to cut. Once students graduate and enter the workforce, employers may expect their staff to travel to multiple work sites, and shift work may be required. The application process starts with making contact with us to start the application. Qualified candidates will then receive a conditional acceptance letter, which outlines training dates, tuition costs, textbook costs, and other incidental equipment that may be needed. The student will then pay a seat confirmation fee of $300 to secure a seat in the program. It should be noted that tuition is required on the first day of training unless the student is receiving funding assistance, in which we will need a copy of the funding letter. Financial options are provided to the student. The student would then make contact with our office when they are ready to submit their application and pay the fee deposit. An acceptance letter is issued at that time. Remember, if the student is applying for funding, we will need a copy of the funding letters from the appropriate agency. Our contact information is loisann.gregan@mbcc.ca, or you can give us a call at 506-778-6054. Why choose MBCC? We are the trainer of choice for trade-related training in New Brunswick. We care about students and their future success. We offer an inclusive and compassionate learning environment. We are community-minded, and we are a major contributor to labor market needs. We provide flexible learning options for multiple pathways. We offer cost-effective training solutions that lead to careers. As a matter of fact, 89% of 2018 graduates were employed within 1 year, and because college works. Thank you, and we hope to see you in the next delivery of Mechanized Forest Equipment Operator.